Now, are they worth picking up? Maybe. I would say maybe because I'm not saying yes or no because even for me, I'm stuck between yes, it is good to get this because it is a good amount of small kids, model kits to be sorry. But I would say for the amount of stuff you get, it's a lot of them. But maybe for one kit, that's a little too much for my liking because it's like 99% of the accessories is for the Destiny Gundam. That's all it is for. The effects, the X, Y, and Z, and the other ones don't get as many, which kind of makes sense because they don't have any blast effect parts you can stick on, which that kind of makes sense for like a lot of them. You don't have like stuff like that. But I will say they're good when you get them done or painted them. However, if you don't have that model kit in your collection, you're going to need to look it up, which is going to be the struggle in case. And honestly, that's going to be where you're going to have a bit of a hard time because what if you don't have that in your collection? That means you need to look it up. Because I know I don't have the Impulse Gundam, the first Impulse Gundam in my collection at all. Even the mass created ones, I don't have one in my storage or my backup in unit. But I would say they look really great. I just might need to put more effort into them so I get to say they look better. So what do you think? Would you pick them up? Like and subscribe to the Discord and join the. I think it should be in my description below if you want to know where I am. I'm gonna film another one and then probably do something else later today. So yeah, peace out. Now they're packed in their physical modes first. I guess it makes some sense because Bone Crusher came in as a robot mode, and I guess the other two came. I guess the other four are really in their or were modes first, and these two are in their physical mode. So I guess that makes some sense. However, I think packaging is. I want to say the packaging the best thing back. That's not anything that really gets me. I like the packaging, but man, it feels so off. I'm gonna be honest here. So we do have two blasters. This one doesn't compare, but you know what? I'm not done with it. Here's the other blaster. Now these are just fortress scale sizes. So you really are looking at just fortress scale, and then you got this back thing, which I will probably get in a second. I will say long haul. I think it's the best one. It's not really the best. I'm gonna be. I'll be real here, one. I will say I don't like the wheels being as much back here because like I really wish it would fold in more and in robot mode, but I will say it is a official to car stuff, so you won't really get the best out of them. They don't really care. And with the kibble is not that bad compared to some other ones I have seen. It's not that bad. And long and say and Hook is I think he's the best one out of these. He looks really good for what he is. The kibble pretty good. You can see the head clearly, but I mean, do you really think you see the head more often than not? The thing does move up and down, and it does come off in case you want to, when you do the transforming of it, it makes it easier to take it off them. And you do see this big thing that's the head of Devastator. It's there for a reason. I don't like how it looks because it's so big and stuff. I mean, the only one that really does look the best is the Mega Legion. I think it's like expensive as ever. Now this is the back, and it does go on here, right here. All you do is just split the legs a little bit and slot it in, and it does fit really well on long haul. And I really like the size of it for once, but it does come off. So I mean, either way, you're screwed on that one. And the blasters I guess don't have much space. I mean, you can have an armed truck. Either way. There you go. So you can have an armed truck. Now let's get into the. Well, sorry, before we're doing anything about sorry. Here, it's the size comparison to Vortex. They're roughly the same size. And this guy. Now let's do the transformation for the robot modes. Now we're going to do transformation for long haul and then hook. Now, fold the legs out and get the things out. You need to get them out for the feet. Snap these apart. These are, make sure they're straight. So pop them in. And then get the arms. Fold this in up here. Well, fold them like this and then get the hand out. And then rotate this upwards until it's like that. That for both arms. Okay. Pull this out because it's meant for transformation purposes. Fold this down until it snaps in, and there you go. Pull this off this backwards so it compact. It is a weird way to transform it, but hey, now you got your long haul. Hook, on the other hand, is a little more, don't want to see different. Pull these up. Pull this part upwards. So all this, and these parts, so that part and that part connect here and here. So do that. Pull it up. Shit. There you go. Now it stays in place. Okay. You can unconnect the arms, fold them down. So unconnect them from the ankles. And there you go. You got arms. Legs are going to get a little more funky. Fold these down. Pop these out. Okay. Pull these apart. Okay. And then these, you gotta pull them downwards, like this. Okay. I say fold these down. I think it looks better. And if it falls off, put it back on. Let's take a close look at the robot modes. Yeah. Transformation is pretty easy, we'll say. However, I did get point out one thing on long haul. He does have detail within the chest. And it's really detailed. So that's really cool for once. Now, I guess we stick with long haul since he's already in my hand. I will say he is not my favorite looking. I'm gonna be right here. He is way too strict. I'm gonna be right here. Because no head rotation up and down, but the head up and down just means it just closes up, I guess, anyways. You don't get no wrist rotation, which kind of sucks. It kind of kills the vibe a bit. You don't get no ankle pivot. Well, kind of. You do get a moving side to side of it. Other than that, that's what you get. There is a knee joint. However, when it locks in, you don't get that movement, so that's not the best. And this thing is really restrictive. That's why I said, like, I wish this part would just fold down, and so it could cover it up. Can't happen to the best of us. And yeah, you kick up this high, you go back pretty much the entire way backwards. You get a good split. Arms can rotate 40 through 60. Arm can go up this much at a 90-degree angle, and you go that far. So you do have limited movement in the worst way, I think. Hook, on the other hand, I will say he has a lot more. I do say he does, because he has bending knees, less than 90 degrees. As you can see, yeah, it's like stomping feet on both knees. So, and that's one knee with the big bulky stuff in the back. It has this one as well. Arm can rotate, not full 90 degrees, because this part does get in the way, even though it meant to fold down anyways. I know some people leave it up, but I think that looks more ridiculous, I guess. Head is on a bald one, but it barely looks side to side or up and down. So not much on that one. Hand is just in place. And yeah, the thing for limited too. It get go a full stretch. Get kick up that far, kick back that much. Has somewhat of a pivot up and to the side. However, that foot is not really the best in its own right. It does have a thigh swivel, and yeah, they're fun. I will say the kibble one is not that bad on the back of it, but the strain crane thing does help it stand a little more in case it gets in the way of it all. Side comparison time. Gears. Ratchet. Or Ironhide. I can't tell anymore. It's Ironhide. And the other two, Bone Crusher and whatever his damn name is. Now let's go to the combine mode, but I'm not gonna put the limbs on it. Sorry, but I don't really want to do that anyway. So now we're gonna do the combine mode for long haul and hook. Long haul is pretty ish, I want to say. Put the feet down. Get the arms, but you need to pull them up like this. Rotate this part. Okay. Okay. Now we gotta do one thing on this one. Whoopsie doodle. Okay, anyways. The lights don't do anything yet. So just have the arms out like that. This part needs to connect with, I think, this part right here. So that part needs to connect in, if you can. And put this into place. So make that. This is going to be the interesting part. Flip all this downwards like this. And then the parts right here, flip these out. These will go into that. So, push these in. And there you go. I would say do this part first because it's easier to. But fold it up like this, which is going to be annoying, it's going to keep falling like this anyway, so there we go. Connect it on like there. And you got the lower half. This part is frustrating for one reason. It's annoying. Arms, put the hands in. And do that for the hands real quick. Move this part to the side. Get this part right here. Make sure it locks into place. Other side is pretty simple. There you go. Pull that out. Pull this out. And there you go. Better, it'd be easier to take off the hook. Yes, I get part forming, but hey, part forming, I guess. Pull the head out. Don't do anything with it yet. Pull the feet out like this. But make sure this part right here is also pulled out so you can connect stuff. Fold all this to the side, and then you can make the top part of the Devastator. And scoot all this, yes, scoot it into the connects. And there you go. Fold all this up again. It probably going nowhere. This part can connect right here. Well, and the head looks up. Fold it out. There you go. All of it stays the same. Mainly. Make sure the fits this down. Make sure everything will fit. Because you need to fit all this on top of here. Make sure that fits on top of that, and make sure the foot goes in there. Well, and there we go. You can connect the other parts onto this, and let's go so far. But we need to get the parts on, like the arm and leg. But that's gonna be when you get Mix Smasher and the other one. So let's talk about this weird combination real quick. Now here's the combine mode, I guess, or giant mode, I guess you want to say. It looks good from the front. I will say that part. From the front is somewhat there. The back of it though, people really not like this back design in the slightest, which I don't blame them. It's too much back here, I will say. For the amount of stuff that is back here, it's kind of messy, even the side angle. Certain parts of it are not bad looking. It is not the best looking, if that makes sense. Because you can see how gappy it is on the side. But you do get a knee rotation up here, one that is literally just 9 degrees up. And I wouldn't say not too much back anyways, and you do get the knee down here. However, these parts are different, so it meant to fit two different ones. This one goes down here, and this one goes right here in the arm. And the joints for them is right here. Because you're really meant to put those, if you could do the arms, you're meant to put the arm mode right here, and this is cooked into the body. And I would say the amount of tires is not that bad looking for once. This thing that has gone nowhere, it just hangs in the back. Is not bad, not good. The other parts, you have the hands, so that means you're going to put the hands on these. And the weapons barely go nowhere. They're just extra backups you just put. And they do open up. However, the weapon come with the first one, Bone Crusher. So I guess I need to put that out sooner or later. So let's get to my final thoughts. Oh, sorry. Before we do that part, the head articulation it does a swivel 360. So yay. And the crane is still used as being crane. So not much to do with that, I guess. So let's get to my final thoughts. Hello there today. God, sorry. Hello there today. So we're gonna be reviewing a official 2-pack that costs $90. I'm not surprised it costs a lot of money. Anyways, this is the 86 2-pack a long haul and a hook. That was $90. It's expensive. I'm gonna be right here. It's a lot more expensive than I really want to spend. However, if you're doing a Super Series Devastator from the 86 movie, yeah, you need to spend all more money. This thing is really not the best for the back. For the combined mode, which we're gonna look at towards the almost end of the video. However, I do have one arm and one leg. I just need to get the other arm and the other leg. Then it's finally complete to make it a full Devastator, and when we get the last two parts, the other arm and the other leg, we will show it off to the Mega Legion. Yes, I'm gonna compare it to that one, only in a combined mode. I'm not gonna take that thing apart. That thing's way too heavy. I'm just saying it's heavy and to get done for. So let's look at this.